Hello everyone, welcome to the course of Automotive Manufacturing Processes and Technology. Myself, Vimal Salot from LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this session, we are going to discuss about two methods of non-conventional machining, that is electro-discharge machining and electrical chemical machining. Both of these methods are non-conventional machining method. We know that non-conventional machining methods are used to machine the materials, particularly which are very hard to machine by the use of conventional machining processes. So first process, that is electro discharge machining or electrical discharge machining process. The schematic diagram and all the equipments are shown here. So let's see what are the different equipments which are used for this kind of machining process. So it requires a DC power source, then a cutting tool which is generally made of graphite or copper, a workpiece to hold the workpiece, fixture is required to provide the movement, also it is required, then dielectric medium and sump and pump to supply the dielectric fluid to the interface of workpiece and cutting tool. Now let's see how this process occurs. So basic principle is spark erosion. As in case of petrol engine, there is spark plug which is used to produce a spark, and by use of spark combustion takes place. In a similar manner, here spark takes place between cutting tool and workpiece, and the temperature at the interface of cutting tool and workpiece is near about 1000 degrees Celsius, which is sufficient to melt and remove the material. Now let's see the procedure. So here we can see it is a DC power supply. Negative terminal is connected with the cutting tool and positive supply is given to the workpiece. So workpiece becomes anode and cutting tool becomes cathode. So it is a arrangement what is anode and what is cathode. Dielectric medium is used for some purposes, and basically dielectric medium, it is non-conductor of electricity. Generally used dielectric mediums are kerosene, paraffin, or it may be transformer oil also. Now what are the basic function of dielectric medium and what is the requirement? So first point is that it provides effective cooling at the interface of cutting tool and workpiece. It is also useful to remove the swarf material which is being removed from the workpiece. So removed material is carried away with the flow of this dielectric medium, and to provide the circulation of this dielectric medium, filter and pump is used. The purpose of filter is to provide the clean dielectric medium at the interface of cutting tool and workpiece. So the dielectric medium is collected in the sump through the filter, and pump is used to supply and to maintain the circulation of dielectric fluid at approximate 2 kgf per cm square pressure. So here when DC supply is provided to the cutting tool, spark takes place at the interface of cutting tool and workpiece. The gap which is maintained between cutting tool and workpiece is in the order of 0.005 to 0.05 mm. So when spark occurs, it results in high temperature in the order of 1000 degrees Celsius, which is sufficient to melt and remove the material from the workpiece. Servo mechanism or servo motor is used to provide the feed movement to this cutting tool. So it is basic procedure and the setup of electrical discharge machining process. So principle is spark erosion. Components basically used are electrical power supply, dielectric medium, workpiece and tool, and servo control. The function and requirement of dielectric fluid are: it is non-conductor of electricity, it provides an effective cooling at the interface of cutting tool and workpiece. It is also capable to carrying the swarf particles away from the workpiece. It should have a high degree of fluidity and it should be easily and cheaply available. Now let's see what are the advantages of this process. So as we have seen here, there is no any direct contact between tool and workpiece. So therefore any weak material can also be machined easily by this process. Any complicated shapes can be machined. Fine holes can be easily drilled. Any hard material can be easily removed by using this process. Now let's see what are the limitations of this process. So first point is that, as we have seen, it is necessary to provide the DC power source and it is connected with both cutting tool and workpiece material. So this process is particularly suitable for the materials which are good conductor of electricity. If material is non-conductive of electricity, then this process cannot be applied to that workpiece material. Next limitation is sharp corners are difficult to produce. Specific power consumption is high and it has low tool life, so it also results in high maintenance cost. Applications of these processes are: widely it is used in automobile industries for drilling small holes in fuel injection nozzles. It is also used for resharpening of the cutting tools and it is also used to produce the internal threads. So these are the general applications of this process. Next process is electrochemical machining. In short form, it is known as ECM. Here, as its name suggests, some chemical reactions takes place and by that chemical reaction the material of the workpiece is removed. Let's see what are the basic equipments are used. So schematic diagram is shown here. It also requires a DC power source, a cutting tool holder, cutting tool, a workpiece, then it is a reservoir for the electrolyte, pump, flow regulating valve. So the medium which is used here is electrolyte and it is a conductor of electricity. So generally used electrolytes are sodium chloride, which is also known as a brine solution, potassium chloride and sodium hydroxide, which are the generally used electrolytes for the process. Now DC power source is supplied to the workpiece and cutting tool. Negative supply is given to the cutting tool and positive supply is given to the workpiece material. Electrolyte flow is maintained at the interface of cutting tool and workpiece. So it is a good conductor of electricity and it completes the circuit between cutting tool and workpiece. So there are some chemical reactions by which the erosion of metal, workpiece metal, takes place. So the chemical reactions are here. M represents any metal, so it gives M plus 1 electron. So it is basically equation for the metal dissolution how metal is removed from the workpiece. Here we can see oxygen and chloryl gas are also produced, and the metal hydroxide is uh, is a result of a chemical reaction between this M plus ion and hydroxyl ion OH minus. So it is MOH, which is in the form of the slug, and it can be removed. So it is a process how the material of the workpiece is removed by the chemical reaction. So function of electrolyte is it carries the current between tool and workpiece, thus it is useful to complete the circuit. It removes the products of the machining, so any chips or swarf materials which are removed from the workpiece material, they are carried away with this electrolyte. It also dissipates heat which is produced in the operation. Now let's see what are the advantages of ECM. It provides comparatively very good surface finishing. No sharp edges or burrs retains on the workpiece. Extremely thin sheet can also be machined by this process. Disadvantages are it is also a process which can be applied to electrically conductive materials only. So for non-conducting electricity material, this process cannot be applied. Specific power consumption is high. Applications of these processes are to cut the slots in valve plates, machining of turbine blades, and for cutting cavities in forging dies. These are the general applications. So we have seen today in this session electro discharge machining and electrochemical machining. In both of these machining processes, DC power source is required. So basically that DC power source is applied to the workpiece and cutting tool, and workpiece becomes anode and cutting tool becomes cathode. And as we discussed how the machining takes place. Thanks for watching.